Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Year 13. Just a very quick one of things to include in your main paragraphs for your Unit 4 Research and Geography exam on health. So obviously we've gone through in lessons the introduction, the methodology, the conclusions, but based on your mark scheme, you need to make sure in the main paragraphs, you need to have these 5 massively important things in every single paragraph. Okay, so in your main point, you need to have, number 1, a heading. So every paragraph should start with what your point is from that paragraph. This statement agrees with this. Health is bad in this country. It's not as good healthcare in this country or this type of country. Level of development is a major factor. Whatever it is, your point, that should be a 1-line title for that paragraph, your main argument. Obviously, you've thought about that in your plan before you start writing. The second thing you have to include is data, okay? So when I say data, I mean numbers, I mean years, I mean comparisons with not just, oh, Ethiopia's got bad healthcare, but numbers of proof of maybe years, for example, whether it be amounts of deaths per 100,000, amount of healthcare, amount of money spent on healthcare, whatever it may be, you need to have data. That's where revision comes in. Having lots of data available for different topics, for different possible exam questions is massively important. Number 3, it's kind of similar, but it is references. So I would say you need to have per paragraph, if you're looking for a grade A, I'd have around 3 references per paragraph. That can be your data. So you put your data in and then you put in brackets where you've got that data from. The whole point of this exam is showing that you have done some research. There's no way any examiner is going to think, nor should you have gone to India and measured the amount of deaths from a certain disease. Obviously, you've researched that information from somewhere, and a skill you are marked on is referencing that and putting that article in there, whether it be the WHO, whether it be the UN, whether it be a charity, whether it be a website, whether it be a book. Having a wide variety of sources is massively important. Number 4, if you can link in every paragraph, fantastic. If you can't, make sure you get a couple in there anyway. But I would have a few figures up the back of your sleeve too, to include figures that you can also reference as a result. So, for example, your argument is this shows that wealthier countries have better healthcare and they often deal with non-common diseases. Fine, we'll have a figure to prove that. Have the epidemiological transition model, have diffusion models, have anything like that that you want to use in your exam question, and that makes it much stronger. So if you have your title with your point, you've explained your point full of data, full of references, and a figure reference, then the next thing, the most important thing, number 5, is your sub-evaluation. You cannot get a good mark, doesn't matter how much data you use or how many sources you use, if you don't use and you don't evaluate, if you haven't got an evaluation. Your evaluation should come at the end. I've made you do sub-evaluation separately to make sure that you don't forget to do them. Making it like a separate thing to write in your report means you're guaranteed to do it. So sub-evaluations at the end, it's where you answer the question. All that information, all those case studies, all those temporal comparisons over time, all those spatial comparisons over space, evaluate it, answer the question, and basically this is where you bring it all together to make your full point, which makes a really strong paragraph in a report. Better evaluation, better report. Anything else you need, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.